All right, I'm back. And I am trying to keep my cool. Here is the inherent frustration with being ADHD. Let me check and make sure. Okay, my sound is on this time. How many times have I talked about this? I have to check all of my stuff to make sure that it is working. I know that. You know I know that because you've heard me say it. Yet, here I am for like the second or third day this week, at least the third or fourth time in the last 2 weeks, having to re-record a live because I forgot to just look at the sound bar before I started getting into my live stream. It is part of who I am as an ADHD man. I have to accept that. It is really, really frustrating to know that there are going to be times that I know something really simple and I'm not going to do it anyways. I could beat myself up about that. I could really just, you know, just go to town on myself because I'm so stupid and I'm such an idiot. I'm not an idiot. I'm ADHD, and sometimes I forget small details. But it's okay. I can just refilm it. The sound's going this time, and I'm messing up in a low stakes situation enough times. It will make me remember. So is it frustrating? Yes, but I just need to make sure I go through my checklist every time. I make sure that my camera's on, that Facebook and YouTube are uploading, and that my sound is on. I've gotten everything else down every time. It's just that one is it's gotten me frustrated. But I'm gonna get over it. What is also frustrating is that my live was real. I was feeling super confident. I feel like it was a really good live, and I'm getting better at this. So could I be upset that I just wasted 10 minutes of like good streaming conversation? Yes, I could be. But instead I'm going to say, "Wow, that was a great practice. Let's take it to the game." And this right here is the game. So, the topic I chose to talk about today is something that I'm currently struggling with. And that is perfectionism, or struggling with the expectations of others. And when I say the expectations of others, like I wish I could actually mean things that they've laid out as expectations, but I don't. I mean that there are all these assumed things that I have laid out in my head that I think that people are expecting whenever, you know, whatever the word is that I'm correlating it to. In this situation, it's resumes and job applications. So I might have told this story before, but whenever I was in first grade, I would regularly miss recess because I was so intent on coloring perfectly. I thought that if I didn't color inside the lines perfectly, I was going to fail my mom, my dad, my teacher. My friends were going to make fun of me because I drew like a child. I was a child. I was in first grade, but I didn't think that it was okay to make mistakes. So I would literally miss recess on a regular basis, trying to keep my crayons in the lines and color perfectly. This is a this behavior persisted throughout my school life, and I was talking about yesterday about my college applications, how I only filled out one. It was not because I had a very blasé attitude about going to college. I really, really wanted to go to college, but I really was terrified to mess up on applications. So I put everything I had into not messing up one. It was all the energy, all the focus, I didn't know I was ADHD, so I didn't realize why it was so hard. I just thought this was a really hard thing. And once I did that one, I was like, I did that. Like I got it done. I sent it out. Everything's done. Like cross your fingers and pray you get into that one because I can't do another one. It was too exhausting for me. Once I did the one scholarship I applied for as well. Those two things were just too much. And it's not because I'm not smart enough and I don't have the intelligence or the adequate experience. It's because of that expectation factor. It's thinking they want something right here in this specific line, and if I don't answer it perfectly, then I failed and I'm not going to get into college, or I'm not going to get the job. Or but what I've learned, later in life, getting to know myself, doing the self work, is that there are going to be people who are going to fail you anyways. You could fill out the application perfectly for job or college. You could have the perfect interview. You could do everything right, and there are still going to be times where the answer is just no. So understanding that, instead of getting so like deep into my head and like writing all these stories before I actually take any action, I just do it now, and I understand that all I can do is engage in the process and do it to my best ability, and then they're going to make the decision that they're going to make. Um, to a degree of which, so right now I'm like, it's not job applications I'm worried about. Like, I feel like job applications are pretty standard. You kind of have to do what they're asking for you in an application. A resume, on the other hand, is something that, like, I've been really struggling with the fact that my I lost my last resume whenever I moved all my stuff from my job at the fire department. Like, a lot of stuff I thought it came with me, but it was on OneDrive, and I thought I copied it, but you need OneDrive access to get to it, and blah blah blah. So I lost my last resume, and I was really freaking out. It was going to, thinking about doing the specific standard resume template just really just freaking mess my mind up, trying to find the specific dates I worked here and what the address to that restaurant was and what their phone number, like, and who did I work under at this place and whatever. Like, I decided that the 2 weeks I would waste doing a subpar job doing that would be better spent if I just did it my way. If I just said fuck it, and I just said, you know what? I'm good at graphic design. I'm good at layout design. Why don't I just do what I love and make something that puts me on a sheet of paper as the talented, skilled individual that I am? And if they don't like that, if this is too out of the box, or it's not conforming enough to what a resume is supposed to be, then that's probably not the right space for me right now anyways. Like, I push back against that conformity for a reason. I don't fit in it. The real Bruce that I am doesn't fit inside that conformity, and won't unless it is a great payoff or it is a absolute necessity. I'm not going to shrink myself into to fit into spaces anymore. So maybe I should do a resume that represents that lets me put the best of myself on a page or two, and lets me be outside of the box and create something that I really feel like translates my value to the person hiring. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just build my own resume template, and it's going to be the things that I think would be important if I was hiring somebody. And I'm not going to focus so much on specific dates, which is something that really, it messes me up so bad. If they really want to know who I worked with at that time, they'll call and they'll say, "Hey, when you were working with so and so, do you know the exact dates of whatever?" And I'll likely say, I can do my best to find out and find a approximate time, or call the place and see if they know the dates. But like, I don't know them, and I'm not going to rack my brain trying to figure out exactly what day I started working at a place. Like, I know the general years of whenever I worked at jobs before the fire department, and I have pretty specific dates for the fire department and past. So I'm happy with that. So I think that the overall lesson that I wanted to share is that instead of shrinking away from our talents as ADHD people, like, lean into them. Just like, do the things that allow you to present the best of yourself, whether they're being asked for or not, because sometimes we're imposing this expectation on ourselves, and nobody said that you have to do the resume, the specific white sheet, 12 bullet points, left hand aligned with a Times New Roman font. Like, nobody told me that that's what the resume needed to be, but that's what I felt whenever I heard it. And now I'm just like, no, why am I feeling like I have to conform to this expectation that nobody said that these are the rules? So I'm not going to. And like I said, of course there are going to be no's. There are going to be people who say, yeah, we don't like this. And that's going to be okay. Thank you. If there's anybody who might appreciate this kind of outside of the box thinking, would you please point me their way? And that's okay. I was going to get no's anyways. I accept that failure is part of this process, but now there's a chance that somebody is going to see the uniqueness that is me, and it actually might move me past where I would have gotten before trying to do a regular resume and fit myself into this box that I'm not good at fitting myself into. I'm a big dude. Boxes don't fit this roundness very well. So that is what I wanted to talk about today. And that's the second time I talked about it. So just as good, if not better, the second time. Also, if you are trying to figure out this kind of stuff in your life and you don't have a foundation of your values, beliefs, and the goals you're trying to work towards, it is way, way, way more difficult. It's stupid difficult. But if you have a life instruction manual, making these kind of decisions that help work you towards your evolving towards the person you want to grow to be, then why don't you get on my How to Life workbook and do that, and you will be so much farther ahead in making the right moves for yourself. And that link is in my bio. It is all over all of my everything. It's in the description of this YouTube video. Check it out. And also my 9 ways for the ADHD dad to radically improve communication is also in there. And it is a great course to help you engage it with passion and purpose and communicate with authority and intention, because you have to know what matters to you in order to say anything that matters. And both the links are in my bio. I just want to help people engage in this life in a more meaningful way. And both of those tools help to do that. And, I sold a course today, and I'm really excited to hear back feedback from that, because I think that people are going to really be moved by the process and what the value that's in that course. So that is it for today. I got to go finish making dinner. Be yourself, love yourself, and check out the tools in my bio. Check out the tools in the description, because they are going to do nothing but improve your life